us now.
Absolutely. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning real estate marketing show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand, and Marketing Max. All right. So this is episode 75. I was thinking in my mind, I think the 50 year anniversary is the silver anniversary, or is it the 75 year? I forgot what metal or cotton, but 75 marks a very significant, number. So I can't believe it's been 75 episodes already, but here we are. So here we are. What do we have? What's going on in Las Vegas?
Well, I wanted to start out by telling a bit of news for everybody that they might want to shout out to on their Facebook or Instagram. This is the 10th year anniversary of the bankruptcy of the Fontainebleau, one of the tallest hotels in Las Vegas, 60 stories tall. And it is interesting because back in 2010, Icon, he's a millionaire, right? A billionaire, probably. Right. Anyway, he bought the Fontainebleau for $150 million.
Wow.
When it was in bankruptcy, and he turned around and sold it. He sold it in 2017 for $600 million.
That's a little nice return on investment for holding a piece of property.
And a group called the Weisskopf Group, Witkoff, Witkoff, they bought it, and they bought it for $600 million, 60 stories, and they renamed it to the Drew Las Vegas, and it will open in 2022. The property contains nearly 4,000 rooms and suites, over 500,000 square feet of convention and meeting space.
Wow.
And in addition to the Drew, here's some news that people might not know. In addition to the Drew Hotel, the resort's also going to house hotels from two Marriott brands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the JW Marriott Hotel is going to open on the Las Vegas Strip, and it will manage 3 hotels. And I'm not sure what they're going to be called, but getting back, that's really something that we're going to have. Yeah, that's going to bring.
And I think you were telling me 4,000, you said 4,000 rooms, and
yes.
Each room can provide essentially 3 more new jobs. So that's 12,000 more new jobs generated when they open, which is incredible.
Plus the construction jobs in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Fontainebleau, let me recall, that's like on the north side of the Strip, right? By just before the SLS.
That's on the east.
On the west side, right? So it's that big blue building that's been standing there. I mean, 60 stories tall forever now, just vacant. So it'll be nice to see it.
It was interesting because Witkoff had heard horror stories about, why are you paying $600 million for this property? Because the rumors were that the plumbers had took all the copper plumbing, and some of the other construction people took important components, and it was built shoddily. Well, he had it totally inspected, and it's just the opposite. The hotel was built really well. Things were not stolen that made any kind of impact on his investment. Right. So that is really good news.
Fantastic.
People want to know why he called it Drew Las Vegas. And just a bit of trivia. Witkoff's son was named Andrew. And in 2011, he was 22 years old, and he overdosed on Oxycontin. So his nickname was Drew. So that is the story behind the name of Drew.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it's sad, but anyway, we can look forward to another new hotel.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know what the resort is doing, the international resort. I was
just going to ask you about that, right? Because the international resort is like sandwiched between the Fontainebleau and then the south side of the Strip, in that big area, like really kind of kitty corner from the Wynn.
It's across the street,
right?
And I don't know if there's a lawsuit because they copied the window and the
You're
design.
right. I was down at the Strip 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago with Brenda, my wife, and I thought the Wynn was building a third tower, right? Or like
Yeah.
something else. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's on the other side of the street. They're not expanding. And I realized, yeah, it is kind of a little bit confusing. I thought that was. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm like, that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Moving on to the
Right.
MLS stats.
Just
What's going on? Yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
before I do that, while we're on the topic of, we also stayed at the Trump Tower, I think for Mother's Day weekend. No, not Mother's, like before that. If you ever stay at the Trump Tower, just for anyone visiting into Las Vegas, great hotel, nice hotel, very well done. Rooms are nice. Don't stay on the west side though. If you have a space or a room on the west side, ask them if you can move, because the train apparently runs and toots its horn every 2 hours, 24 hours a day, and you can hear it clearly. So just an interesting tidbit for everybody visiting Vegas and wanting to stay at the Trump Tower.
When we go to Santa Barbara, we like to stay on Butterfly Beach in Montecito, and we stay at the Biltmore, and they give you earplugs because the Amtrak runs right behind the Biltmore.
Right.
And when John had cancer in 2009, and we rented a condo right across the street, and at 2:00 in the morning, the house shook from the train.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, yeah, trains can be different experiences.
No doubt. I didn't think it was going to, pull its horn at nighttime. It was weird. I don't know what the whole purpose of the horn thing is at 2 a.m. But supposedly it's supposed to warn the track workers or whatever to get out of the way. But anyways, interesting tidbit. So what's going on with the stats, Ruth?
Not a lot of change. In 2019 year to date, we've sold about 19,000 homes. So we're right on track at about 4,000 a month, just like last year, pretty much.
Okay.
The median resale price is $265. Last year was $257. So again, that's not a big jump. And I think we talk a lot about when and if it ever hits 375, that'll be our danger zone because of the household income here. Right. And you can explain that again to people because you do it so well, much better than I can.
Yeah, it's just the affordability price, right? I mean, if we look at what happened during the financial crisis, once the Las Vegas median household income is like 75,000 here in Las Vegas, and if you times that by 5, you get roughly about 375, I believe. Hopefully someone can verify the math there for us. But at that point, that's when the housing crisis kind of started and hit its peak. When it hit that point, people couldn't afford to buy anymore because the banks started not being able to lend out 100% financing anymore. But simply the payment for what the current interest rate is, even at right now, will start to really tighten up. I mean, when your household payment becomes more than 50, 45, 50, 60% of your overall take-home income or gross income, that's how mortgages are calculated, is they base it off of gross income, which is a little weird. I have a weird, still, I guess, a disagreement with how they qualify loans that way, because gross income is not what you take home. It's, before taxes are taken out. But when it starts getting above 50, 60%, it's not sustainable at that point. So,
yeah. Well, Las Vegas, with the median price under 300,000 for resales, and just a note, depending on where you get your statistics, you're going to see different numbers. Different people put townhouses in, condos in, high rises, and they're all different categories. But when you do the resale market, it's about 257 last year and 265 this year. And the point being, as we move on to the next topic, one of the things that is so appealing to the iBuyer platforms is the median price. It's affordable for them with their business model. And also our market we are the fastest growing state in the United States. So we are quite a target for people selling their homes and people buying homes.
Mhm.
So that makes the iBuyer platforms really heavy duty here. And
Absolutely.
I did some stats of the 19,000 homes. What we can track through the MLS is about 2,700 homes were iBuyer platform homes. So that's, that's a chunk of the market. And yeah. And that,
2,700 out of 14,000 that's been sold this year.
Yeah, 19,000.
Okay.
It's still a big number, and it's getting up there. Sure. And it was interesting in my social media class this week, I had some students there that were being affected and losing listings to the iBuyer platforms because they have a brand new, well, not a brand new, they have moved, their business model probably always had this contained in it, and that is that they are looking to give the consumer the best price. That's what they're doing. And it's actually in print, I believe, where did I read it? In Inman News or something, they had a panel, and I posted it about the panel. That's from Open Door Offer Pad and, was it Redfin? I don't think so. Anyway, Zillow wasn't there, but they did a panel and they were talking about what their goal is. Oh, it was Knock. Knock is another iBuyer platform that people might know about, know about. And Knock, actually, what it does, it will almost do a bridge loan, if you will, and let the seller move and then sell the house.
Got it. So they won't have to make payments to their current mortgage and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a new model coming, and they're doing pretty well. And they haven't really hit our market yet that hard. But I think they're more on the East Coast right now, if I'm quoting what I read correctly. But anyway, the three of them together, the three panelists, CEO, CFO, CEO, major players in the platform, said their goal is to give the consumer the best experience and the best money. And the more homes they sell, the better price they can give the consumer, because a year ago people were looking at maybe Zillow's price being $14,000 less than maybe you could sell the house for as a real estate agent. But now they're inching up there to where it's very close. Very close. And the trivia question of the day is, do you know what the I in iBuyer stands for?
You told me, but I'll let you reveal it.
A lot of people think it means internet.
Right?
No, it means instant cash.
Instant cash. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Instant cash buyer. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, and that's the appeal of what they're trying to accomplish. What they're saying, it makes sense here is, and if you look at the psychological back end of how they're spreading that message of giving the best price. Well, if they get more transactions, then they are going to set the price. That makes all the sense in the world, right? So, I mean, if they do more transactions, then their transaction becomes comps, and comps determine price, right? Yes. In real estate. So, I mean, it's kind of like a play on words. As I was listening to you say it, it remains to be seen, right? I mean, one thing they're saying one thing, and when it'll be great to hear from the people who go through the experience what they're seeing, as far as how much they're getting offered and stuff like that. So, but I mean, I think they're doing some PR work on that, because obviously there's been some feedback.
They've gotten some bad reviews.
Right, that they're not getting that. So you were going to say something, and I want to bring up another actually threat to the market, or a disruptor to the market, that I kind of shared with you, and I want to touch on it for a second. So one of the things I'll say before you say that is, if you look at the average price, it's in their best interest to keep it low. Absolutely.
So there's always good and bad. The lower the price, the more affordable our homes, the more people that will move here. It helps everybody, not just them.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, it does help everybody. And we've gotten so used to, especially here, the booms and bust of the prices here in Vegas, and just real estate in general over the last 20, 30 years has seen a surge in price, and it's because of inflation. If you really think about it, I know the Federal Reserve says that our inflation rate's 1.8%, but they're taking out key price components that don't reflect the overall true cost of goods and services that us Americans and just general people are having to pay for stuff. It's more like the inflation rate is probably more like 5 and 6%. There's a website called shadowstats.com, and it basically breaks down the inflation rate and some other GDP numbers where the government gives you a revised version and a filtered version of the number, and then this site incorporates all the things that they should incorporate in there to give you some real numbers. So,
and it's shadow what?
Shadowstats.com. Yeah, shadowstats.com. So while you're writing that down, I actually sent you like a text earlier this week for a company called Rex Homes, REX Homes.com. And I don't know if you read through it, but they're doing something pretty interesting from what I roughly read through their website. And they're appealing to one, they're playing the price war right now. So we have another disruptor coming into the marketplace here that's looking to lower commissions, right? I mean, their claim is that it's going to be a 2% commission on the entire transaction, both on the buyer and the seller side, right? So that is crazy. And what they're trying to do is they're using technology. They're not listing on the MLS, right? So basically, they're going direct to consumer to find the buyers for the sellers directly. So not listing on the MLS, right? That's going to be if they can really pull this off. I mean, this could be another threat to the traditional ways of doing real estate. And so the way they're able to keep costs low, apparently, is the fact that you're not paying 6% commission, and they are going directly to the consumer to find the buyers for you, not listing on MLS. So I don't know if you read that. I did. Your comments on that, but that's kind of crazy. Maybe we can bring it up and we can look into it a little bit more, but just a different way of looking at things. And that's why it's so much more important these days. We always go back to this, is like the price war is coming, right, in real estate and the traditional way of doing it. But like Aaron Taylor says, though, if you have a strong enough brand and that brand is tied to, exponential value to the marketplace, you're going to be a little bit damaged by, some disruptors, but you will not go out of business, right? And you continue to prosper, and you'll find a way to adjust and grow from, and add your value. But change is coming is the whole point. And you make sure you got to build a really good brand out there.
Yeah. John had a seller 2 weeks ago who wanted to list both their homes. They have 2 investment properties, and they had gone out to the iBuyer platforms. It was interesting because the iBuyer platforms said that they would buy their home for the highest priced active listing in her neighborhood. Okay, so it was $299, I believe, or $199. It's a townhome.
Okay,
$199. The comps don't reflect that at all at this point in time. Right. It's more like $180. So it's like $18,000 less. So, it's hard for John to break his tradition, right? So I said, John, let me do this. Let me handle this. All and right. I got both the listings.
Okay.
I've got probably, now there's tenants in the properties, but as soon as the one tenant moves out, we'll have it sold instantly.
Okay.
And the other one is in a great neighborhood, and I don't think that the tenant's going to move out till the winter time, unless we can find him something comparable because of the school district and what have you. But the interesting thing is that people are willing to pay that price that the iBuyer platform was going to list it for, because that's what I told her. I will do it. I will do the list price.
Mm-hmm.
I will reduce the commission, which I thought John was over there. He's listening to me and he's like, oh my God, what's she doing?
Right.
However, at the end of the day, I mean, 0.25% isn't the end of the world, but but to the seller, she felt that, okay, Ruth's going to do this, she's going to do that, and I'm going to get a reduction in the commission. Mm-hmm. So all things being equal, I'll net more with Ruth than I would have with the iBuyer platform.
Right.
But I had to reduce the commission on both sides.
Right.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem to stop people from wanting to show the homes. And I've talked to some of the agents about, well, what do you think of the price? Well, they think the price is fair, and one of the big problems that John was having when he was comping out the home was that nothing had sold for over a year.
Oh, wow.
And so that was
that's a little tough.
That was tough. But anyway, so I broke tradition and I said 2 homes, 2 commissions, we're happy. And then
a quarter reduction.
The buyer's happy, the seller's gonna be happy, so everybody's happy. And it kept the comps. It's not gonna hurt the neighborhood. So anyway, you just take each situation as it comes. And I know Aaron would probably scold me for doing that. But
But sometimes you have to. And as the marketplace starts to change and all these companies who are trying to, thin out their margins to try to take market share, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, I'm hoping some of these people coming in and have some really smart accountants and what do you call it? Those insurance guys that do like analytical numbers, who have like quantum analytic degrees and stuff like that. Actuaries, right? There you go. I hope they have these, actuaries running these numbers and forecasting out what really the, cause and future of real estate, just in general, is if prices on the commission side start to get lowered. I mean, at one point, it doesn't become profitable to do business anymore, and hopefully someone's considering that as they start to play this price war that's going to come.
Yeah, and like I said in class, I had a couple of people that have lost listings to these iBuyer platforms, and it gets back to what I'm doing is trying to teach people how to stay in front of the consumers, because I showed an ad that Zillow is running now on Facebook. It doesn't have a person in it. It's all about taking the stress out of buying a home and so on and so forth. And I told them and showed them some videos, and somebody even did a video in class to show people how easy it is. Just get out there with the video, and that's why I'm going to have a class in July. I don't have the date and time yet. Hopefully in our training room, if we get it all done. If not, I'll try to get it over at Tycor again. They have a beautiful training room, and teach people how to convert these leads, because we've never had such an opportunity to get warm leads like we have today. And so putting the iBuyers aside and all that negativity that's going along, I'm very optimistic and positive about what agents can do to keep in business, grow their business, take care of the buyers and sellers, because they all don't need instant cash. And they do like the personal touch that we give them, and that we handhold them through the transaction and what have you. And it's not just as easy as Zillow and OfferPad and Open Door say. I mean, if they just hand you a check, okay, fine, I get it. But a lot of times there's more to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but anyway, it's so important now that you can get these warm leads. Like you could never get them before. Someone in class was saying, yeah, I bought a zip code, and I got all these emails and whatever, but I never got a deal. Well, they weren't warm leads, and I teach them how to get warm leads. And then once you get the warm leads, there has never been a way to directly contact the warm lead like there is today.
Right.
And again, tactics and strategy. And I'm looking so forward to teaching. It doesn't it's going to be a class of how to do it.
Mhm.
I tell people in class what they need to do, but we're going to have a class where everybody's going to have to do it, in front of
Right.
everybody else. It's going to,
Yeah.
yes,
Execution.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
comfortable with practice and action.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
what we're going to do. And we are going to teach people how to put, well, you're never going to compete against people that want instant cash unless you want to do the same thing, which I know that there are some people there that
Exactly.
can do bridge loans and loan people money. And I think that's fantastic if you can do it, but that's not the average agent. The average agent needs to, be able to touch that consumer, understand, that all the different ways you can do it and the videos, and you can present yourself in person live to them. And I think it's very exciting. And when I was looking at the stats, I took all of the 14,000 realtors in Las Vegas, and I did a ranking. And right at the 5,000 agent level, it drops off. Now, at the 4,000 agent level to 5,000, those are people doing 1 to 2 deals every other month.
Okay. It's about 6 deals a year.
No, it's not quite that. It works out to about 4 deals a year.
Oh, okay. Once every 3 months then.
Yeah, once every 3 months, yeah, if you really dissect it.
Right.
And so those people, I don't know what's going to happen to them, because maybe they're selling to their friends and family and things like that, and that's fine. Right. But from the top ranking agent down to the 4,000 level, those are the people that are doing business and that need to really grab hold of competing with the iBuyer platforms. Right.
Staying in front of them, making sure they, present themselves as a value added brand that does something more than what the iBuyers can offer. And that's the challenge for every real estate agent out there. Right. And I know that I can tell you right now, though, this is, when disruption comes and new technology comes, the people that are hungriest in an industry, have the opportunity to rise to the top. Right. So, I mean, never in our history over the last 30 years have we lived in an era where you can start brand new and become like the top agent, right? In your area, your town, whatever, within a very short period of time because of the technology and the social media aspect. As long as you outwork and out hustle them, and learn what we've been talking about, which is you got to grab attention and provide value. That's it.
Yes. And we live in Las Vegas.
So. And we live in
Nevada, the top growing state in the United States. I know, I look at these agents, I look in their eyes, and I know that they take it for granted. They don't realize how lucky we are. Because we take it for granted. Especially, many of the students have been in town for, longer than me. I've been here 30 years, and some have been born here, some are locals. More and more people are being born here, that I'm meeting, right? Because of my age.
Right.
So anyway, it's and people don't realize that they live in Las Vegas, and and we know where people are moving here from, and we know why they're moving here. And we have the best tax structure. We have the wonderful weather. And I say that tongue in cheek because I don't like hot weather myself, but I muddle through those couple months. I figure it out. You know what the worst thing is to sidetrack? I don't like getting into a hot car.
I don't think anybody does, Ruth.
Yeah.
I don't like getting out of a cool car into the hot weather.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Right. It's exactly right. And you know what's crazy about as I look around in real estate, I'm considering buying a second home, but elsewhere, somewhere where, in the summer, it's not 110 degrees. But every location that I've looked at from just a high level, I haven't dug deep, obviously, in some of these like niche towns and stuff like that. But like, Reno, Flagstaff, anywhere in, Salt Lake City, Denver, Washington, Portland, even like Eugene, Oregon, right? Some of these like smaller towns, all these like Idaho Falls, they are all like $350,000 and above right now,
Yeah.
for like a second home. So I'm like, during the next downturn, I'm going to look at buying a second home in one of these areas because I think in the long term, everybody's thinking what we're thinking. Let's get out of the heat in these, and now that Las Vegas is becoming a bigger and bigger, town, there's more and more people who are going to look to buy, secondary homes outside during the summer. And these towns that I just named off are being targeted here because I can't find like Flagstaff. I didn't realize Flagstaff, Arizona. I mean, I think 450,000 was like, a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom home, 1,800 square feet. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, it's the weather there is incredible.
Exactly. The weather there's incredible. They got the ski resort there. And I think, what is it? There's a university in Flagstaff too.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Mountaintop or?
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's like Arizona. No, it's not state.
You're talking about the college. I was talking about the ski resort.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's there's a ski resort there too. Yeah. But there's a big college town, or a college right by there.
Yeah.
But I had a client.
And it's close to Vegas. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, like 3 hours?
4 hours.
3, 4. Yeah. And then you got the Grand Canyon about 45 minutes north of there. So
and
Sedona about 45 minutes south of there. So yeah. Anyways, but cool weather getaways during the summer around Las Vegas. Getting very expensive is my whole point right now.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's it for me today.
Is that it for? All right. Kind of short show today, but
short show today.
Yeah. It was jam packed with some information though.
Yes,
so
it was.
That's good. Yeah. When's the next class, Ruth?
That's a good question. Well, maybe it isn't the end of the show. So we're demolishing 8400 West Sahara. I mean, honest to God, the roof is staying, the plumbing's staying, but everything else is going.
Right.
And I'm so excited every day I walk in there. There's no floors left except the marble that's in the foyer, and that goes next weekend. So every piece of tile in the whole building will be gone, including the marble. Even the tile in the bathroom around how the code is, you have to have the tile up the wall 4 feet. That's gone. So we are doing everything, total paint rejob. And I told John, I said, if I have to look at beige again in my entire life, I think I will throw up. We had beige carpets, beige walls, because that was that was the thing. So now I am in, and I'm not a gray person.
Right.
And gray is in, and everybody was giving me their opinion. I should do gray tiles, look like wood. I should do gray walls.
Right.
And I didn't listen to anybody.
Well, what'd you end up choosing?
White marble floors.
Oh, okay.
Yes. In the kitchen, the bathrooms, the foyer, and in the offices, navy blue carpet.
Okay.
And a really pretty bosenberry white paint.
What? I don't even know what bosenberry is.
Bosenberry is a berry. It's a blueberry. So it's a bluish white.
Okay.
And and then I've got this beautiful backsplash for the kitchen. The kitchen cabinets are going to be white with this beautiful glass and white and silver. I did bring some silver in because it's very pretty for the backsplash, and the border going down the main hallway will be bordered with that same mosaic. So that's going to be cool. And we are totally getting rid of the reception area, and we're going to put couches there, an area rug, and a wine bar.
Oh, okay.
I know. It's so exciting.
That is
and
exciting.
The training center is awesome. It is awesome. It is the perfectly sized room. It's Kane, dear Kane, really helped me design it. He's mostly responsible for what we're doing and how we're doing it. We actually had to block off a couple windows that were drywalling over because that's the wall where this huge 14 diagonal foot screen is going to go, that we project on.
Sure.
HDMI projector, Bose speakers for sound, And it's just going to be an awesome room, and it's going to be light and bright. People are going to really enjoy it. We're getting different type of lighting, lighting that in rows where we can dim different rows at different times. And it's just we're just trying to think of everything to make it a primo training room.
Absolutely.
And then we haven't started on the green room yet, but it's right behind the training room. There's a green room that's going to be the video studio and the podcasting studio.
Oh, fantastic. Are you doing a front facade change on the outside at all?
Well, nobody likes the color. I painted it, and I didn't like it either after I saw it. But it's like a blue gray.
Is it stucco? Is it still stucco though?
It's still, yeah. Okay. I didn't change that. But I think when it's all done, because I'm changing the roof from the red tile to I'm going to make a gray slate roof, and I'm going to take away the Satillo orange tile that's on the patio and the walkway. I'm going to make that gray epoxy, and the pillars are crispy white gloss paint. Mm-hmm. So I think the finished product on the outside is going to be beautiful. Right now, it's kind of like in that ugly stage outside. But anyway, it's all good, and I'm so excited, and it's a new chapter in my life. That's what I'm calling it, my new chapter.
Absolutely. Yeah. They did a study on colors, and there's a reason why if you look in the back where I put up these posters and even the red car and stuff like that, they say like bolder colors promote a better, promotes a better feeling of joy and happiness versus dull gray, beige all the time. They did studies in like schools and elementary schools, and it actually enhanced the performance and productivity of kids because of that. And that's why, if you look at graffiti, right, even though we think it's obviously a defamation of property and stuff like that, but there's a reason why, if you look at graffiti, how they paint it and why it's so appealing to the eye is because of the vast colors that are involved in it. And so just want to give you a little seed and a thought, and once you kind of finish everything up, to add some color to everything and some accents and stuff like that.
And that's what I was thinking. We can really do some great wall pictures or wall hangings or whatever, because and everything is going to pop because of the contrast of the white. I think that will be really good. And the conference room got the red wall. I don't know if you remember, but we have that bold red wall. Mm-hmm. So now the conference room right now is slated to have the blue carpet, the navy blue carpet. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've ever watched the TV show called Bull.
No.
Well, he has a conference. He's what is he? He's a jury consultant, if you will, to make it simple. He calls himself a technical something, but anyway, his conference room has bright orange chairs and bright orange accents, and I really like it. And it goes with the royal blue. The only problem I have is I really can't afford to texture the blue for the walls the proper way to make it really good. So I still don't know what I'm doing in the conference room yet.
All right. Yeah. So back to like when the next social media class is
yes. Back to that.
Is that slated for after the finish of the training center? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so in July, what I'm going to do is, as soon as I can, have the lead conversion class. And I am going to have an Instagram class and go over some of the tactics people can use. I don't have a real Instagram strategy class yet, but I think if people just want to learn how to use Instagram, we have that class already. And then I'm going to add some of the new things they're doing are going to change the way people get engagement.
Okay.
So, So anyway, and they're trying, and it's interesting because it looks like they're trying not to make it like Facebook, but they are doing some things that are like Facebook. So,
okay. Yeah. Interesting. Give us a sneak peek in later shows on all the changes that are happening there. So
if everything goes well, July 1st, 8400 West Sahara will be new. It was very sad to see Lori and Remax Central go. Mm-hmm. Had to close that chapter of my life. And, I will always miss Remax.
30 years. with Remax. That's a long time.
And the Remax sign is still out there because that'll probably be the last thing that we change. And
Right.
that may be, I don't know. I think I'm going to probably have to cover it, until we get it changed.
Until you okay. Got it.
Yeah. Right now I'm advertising Lori with her phone number. So
she's getting free advertising from 8400 West Sarah.
All right. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, Max,
all right.
Looking forward to a great week.
Yeah. And almost half the year is gone. So get out there and make sure you start working and implementing all the stuff that we're talking about. Because next thing you know, 2019 might be in the books already. Yeah. So see everybody next Saturday.
Everybody compete and grow their business, keep their business, and learn how to convert those leads and stay in front of people. That's my mission for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. All right. See everybody next Saturday.
All righty, here we go. Let's see. We got to end the broadcast.